And welcome to the Big Bang Review Show. This is episode 5, part 1, and today is going to be a real fun one. What we're going to talk about today is the new Bon Jovi album, Forever. Now, the album was released on June 7th, and it's like the first Bon Jovi album to come out in 4 years. So, first new release from the band in 4 years, man. And like many Bon Jovi fans, I did not know what to expect. Now, I'm a lifelong Bon Jovi fan. I've been a fan of the band since since probably 1986. Like a lot of people, with the big breakthrough album was "Slippery When Wet," um, and since I think it was around 2012 when Richie Sambora left the band. They put out like 4 albums since Richie has been out of the band, and I gotta say. In that time, I was not a big fan of that era of the band, and not necessarily because Richie Sambora wasn't in the band, but I will tell you, from the first time I became a Bon Jovi fan, I got to tell you guys, like a lot of people, Bon Jovi music, when I first got into the band, all my life it's been about, joyous, upbeat. It's been great ear candy, for to the ears, and like the last 4 Bon Jovi albums since Richie's been out of the band, not like I said because Richie's no longer in the band, but it was just missing that upbeat kind of joyous pop candy that I grew up on, and so I didn't know what to expect with this new album. But the first single that was released from the band was of course the track "Legendary," and again. I heard new Bon Jovi album was on the way, and I heard they were getting ready to release a new single again for the song "Legendary." And I tell you, although it wasn't an immediate I didn't love the track immediately. I mean, it took me a couple times of listening to, but I tell you, one thing I can tell you all is the minute I heard the track, it was kind of something about it that just could not be denied. I mean. It had that kind of classic Bon Jovi sound that first made me fall in love with the band. It was upbeat, it was joyous, and I've heard John Bon Jovi in talking about the new album saying that he found joy again. As a Bon Jovi fan myself, I can tell you guys, I know what he's talking about. The minute the minute I heard the song, I knew, wow, they're kind of back to their classic sound. Something is it's got that classic element. It's something old. It's something new. But it was good. It was infectious. It was upbeat. It's everything you would want a Bon Jovi song to be. And I can tell you again, like on the last Bon Jovi studio album that came out in 2020, right around the time of the pandemic, he wrote songs all specifically about that period in time. So I get it. It's hard when we're going through stuff like that to write a joyous, upbeat album. Like a lot of people, John was probably going through some depression, and stuff for a lot of different reasons. He's been struggling apparently with his voice, but also there's the fact that again, the pandemic and bands were no longer able to tour at that time. They didn't know if they'd ever be able to. So at the time in 2020, the 2020 album comes out, and had one song that I really liked, "Do What You Can." That was a little upbeat, but a lot of the rest of the album wasn't really kind of too upbeat, and I get it. That's kind of he wrote about the times that everybody was going through, so when everything's locked down and people are dying and going through this horrible period in their life, it's hard to be upbeat. But when I heard "Legendary," first of all, "Legendary," that's a great title for the track because Bon Jovi is a legendary band. They're celebrating 40 years together with the release of this new Forever album, and so again, for part 1 of this episode, I want to kind of we're talking about, like I said, the lead off track, "Legendary," great music video. The track, but when you hear the track, just with your ears, it's great. It's infectious. It's fun. it's a song that you can sing along to. Um, it's just a great classic song, and it made me so happy to be a Bon Jovi fan again. I thought, well, these guys are back to that thing they do, you know. And again, wish Richie Sambora was still in the band, but again, you know, again, John Bon Jovi is a great singer. He's a great songwriter. It's a different Bon Jovi, you know. Bon Jovi, when I first got in the band, you know, they had 5 guys in the band. They got 7 guys in the band now. Some guys have come and gone. Sadly, the original bass player, Alex John Such, has passed away, you know, just a couple of years ago. But, you know, again, legendary, I tell you. What a great leadoff track. And I tell you, here's what I'm going to do for this first part of this episode. Um, I'm going to give Legendary score of 25 because I'll tell you, and that's the highest score you can get. Um, and we're giving it a 25 for first impressions because again, I don't think anybody can hear that infectious, you know, infectious song and just not sing along to it. You know, again, and let's get into some of the fun facts about, you know, Legendary. I mean, let me tell you guys about some of the lyrics here. Okay, Friday night comes along like a song. Okay, um, again, just love that phrasing. It's classic John Bon Jovi lyrics. Got a fistful of friends that will stand up for me. That's one thing I've always kind of really loved about, you know, people being loyal to people, being loyal to your friends, having people that'll stand up for you. So again, that's something that kind of really resonates with me. Those words, raise my hands up to the sky. I mean, it's just an all around fun song to have. And I tell you, when I heard the song Legendary for the very first time, I thought, they're back to that thing they do, that classic Bon Jovi, um, you know, sound. And it set me up to just fall in love with the rest of the album once I heard it because I thought, wow, if this is this good, you know, I hope the other songs on the album are just as good. And you know what? The album as a whole, which we're going to get into in future parts of this episode, but it just really kicks ass. I can understand why John Bon Jovi says he found joy again because on the last 4 Bon Jovi albums, you know, it's not that I wasn't a fan, but I wasn't the huge fan I once was. Um, I was left feeling disappointed. But again, and talking about my first impression of the song "Legendary," um, I gotta say I give it a top score of 25 because it just made me become a huge Bon Jovi fan all over again. It made me kind of feel like, okay, you know, these guys, you know, they're not over just yet. You know, they and John Bon Jovi's talked about the fact that he's been struggling with his voice, you know, and this may very well be the last final Bon Jovi album because he said, you know what, if I can't go out and tour behind the album, my voice isn't what it once was, and I can't give it like 110%, then I don't want to go out there and do it. And this may very well be the final Bon Jovi album. Um, you know, the jury's still out on that. We'll see how John does with his recovery, but Legendary is a legendary track, man. Just kick ass, it's joyous. And I get what John Bon Jovi's saying that he found joy again. Because as a Bon Jovi fan, you know what? I found that joy again. I found that joy he's talking about. Just a great sing along uh, song. And, you know, again, so for my first impression of the song when I heard it, you know, um, they're back. They're back. This is going to be a huge album. And I'll tell you what, um, Legendary, apparently, from what I understand, was Bon Jovi's biggest hit in over a decade. It scored as high as number 20 on the Billboard chart. So that's pretty good, you know. And so we'll see if it makes it into the top 10. And amazingly enough, a lot of Bon Jovi fans must be feeling what I'm feeling because not only did the song Legendary chart at number 20, but the first week that the album was out, it hit the Billboard chart at number one, the Bon Jovi album Forever. So I think the Bon Jovi fans have spoken. Bon Jovi is back in a huge way. So just they're legendary. What else can I say? And once again, you've been watching the Big Bang Review Show, and this is episode 5, part 1. We'll be back again next week for part 2 of this episode. So stay tuned for that. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now.